in her wonderful kitchen, and Heather has an awesome job this summer, and her job features food. But before we get to the food that she's going to have at her awesome job this summer, we are going to get started on this dish, and then we're going to let you tell everybody about this dish and your awesome job. So let's get started with your dish, and then once you get that going, then we can tell everybody what and where you're going to be doing.
Okay, well, first of all, we're going to be making a crab and shrimp stuffed haddock with a lemon dill beurre blanc sauce over the top of it. Okay. So what we're going to do to start with is it takes a little bit to get our wine reduced for the beurre blanc sauce. So we're going to go ahead and put 1 cup of wine, white wine. I used a Chardonnay today, but just about any kind of white wine, dry white wine would do, and actually even a champagne. I'm going to put this on medium heat and just let it start, put it on the right burner, and we will get that to start reducing.
Okay.
While that is started, and I have my oven already preheated to 375. That's what we're going to cook the fish at.
Okay, that's great.
So to start with, I have about 1.5 cups of lump crab meat here in my bowl, and to that, this is for our stuffing. And we're going to add to that about 1/4 of a sweet onion. Okay.
Now, hold on real quick. Tell us about your job.
Well, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be lighthouse innkeepers at the Inn at Cuckold's Island, which is in Maine,
wow.
for the entire summer.
This is going to be great. In Maine?
It's in Maine. It's on a private island.
Okay.
It's a rock out in the middle of the ocean.
Oh, wow.
With
Heather.
a lighthouse and a bed and breakfast on it.
Wow. So you're going to be the innkeeper.
Yes.
And you're going to have to cook.
Yes, 3 meals a day, basically.
Oh, wow.
This
is going to be great. That sounds like the dream job. So this recipe that we're going to create today is one of the recipes that you are going to be able to create for the guests at the end.
Yeah, this is going to be one of the items on our dinner menu.
Okay.
We will have it. It's a bed and breakfast, and we're going to have breakfast, of course, served every morning. A big hearty bed and breakfast style breakfast. Okay. And then we're also going to have we do an afternoon tea that is a really nice tea with meats and cheeses and things of that sort, and then guests can choose off of our dinner menu for their dinner that evening.
Okay.
We also do a full lobster bake, but we have some additional menu items that they can select for their meal.
I think that's going to be great. Okay, so now we have the lump crab meat. We've already put our onions in.
Yes.
Okay, so now what are we going to add next here?
I've got a couple cloves of garlic minced. Just minced up. Okay. And then I have some already cooked small shrimp. I go with already cooked just because if I worry about if it's stuffed inside the fish, the shrimp not getting hot enough to cook all the way through and my fish getting overdone. So I use some already cooked shrimp for it. So,
okay.
So I'm just going to add that in. It's about a cup of shrimp.
Oh, that's smelling great already.
I've got about 2 tablespoons.
Here. Oh, yeah.
I've got about 2 tablespoons of mayonnaise.
Okay.
Going in.
All right.
A little bit of just yellow mustard.
These are all simple ingredients that you should already have at home.
This is super, super easy.
Okay.
And then I have some Ritz crackers.
Oh, everything tastes better on a Ritz.
Absolutely. So it's about a half a sleeve of Ritz crackers.
Okay, this is great. This is going to be great.
And then for seasoning, I'm just using some Old Bay, just a good, typical all-purpose seafood seasoning. And I'm just putting about a tablespoon, I'm guessing. I don't measure.
Okay.
And we're going to put some lemon juice. Oh, I got a seed in there. Let's get the seed out.
Okay.
Oh, if I can catch it. And let's try to keep any more from going in. Okay, we got some lemon juice in there. And now we're just going to mix it all up. It's that simple.
That smells delicious already.
You can't really go wrong here. It's Ritz crackers and shrimp and crab meat.
We're going to use our fish here, right?
Yes. Okay, let me just get it good and mixed up.
And then we've already taken our haddock here and Because they're kind of funky fillets, we put some slits in them because we're going to partially stuff our fish here.
And you can do it a couple different ways depending on the cut of the fish you got. If they're nice and thick, like this one, this particular one is nice and thick, I normally would have just kind of made a slit, made a pocket and stuffed it inside. But they weren't all that way, so we decided for continuity's sake, we would just put it on top today. If you had really thin fillets and you wanted to do this with a different fish, like some tilapia fillets or something, you could do it, or flounder. I've done this with flounder, and you just put one fillet down and put the stuffing on top, and then put the other fillet on top of it, and, it works out just as well.
Right.
It's just the combination. However, you can put it underneath, put it on top, however you want to do it. So if you want to go ahead and stuff these, I'm going to start our Brussels sprouts, and I want to check on how we're doing our line over here. I'm going to turn the line up just a little bit because we want that to start reducing down a little faster.
I'm making a mess.
That's okay.
Okay. This smells awesome. I was so excited to get that in there, so I made a mess.
That's okay. And don't, definitely be pretty generous with the stuffing.
Okay. I am just adding this to the top of the fish. I did spray the pan. So
yes, so that it won't stick.
And I'm inserting it into the pockets here. So there's pockets in the top, so we're just. So yeah, I like the idea of you saying the larger pieces, you could stuff in the.
Yeah, you kind of have to. I mean, it's not. These weren't all very uniform. The haddock fillets I'm working with today, but I've done this with other types of fish as well. Mm-hmm. It does really well with like a red snapper. Did really well. I had some really nice thick red snapper that we had caught, and we did it with that, and we just were able to kind of make pockets and halfway through them, and then stuff it actually inside instead of on top. But it actually works pretty on top as well, and it'll taste.
This smells delicious.
So
this smells so good.
And while you do that, I'm gonna go ahead and throw our Brussels sprouts in over here. We're gonna serve this as a side. At the end with this dish, you would get some sort of a rice or a potato dish. We're gonna have a lobster mashed potato dish on the menu. We'll have a mushroom risotto. Today I made us a brown rice with mushrooms and spinach.
Okay.
And we're gonna have some Brussels sprouts. We'll have like a vegetable of the day that our guests would get with their fish each time. So I just put a little bit of garlic olive oil into the dish, into my pan here. And I've got a little bit of onion and garlic I'm gonna throw in. Just a little bit of diced up onion and garlic to season.
Okay, now that I have these already stuffed, we're gonna put these in the oven?
Yes, we're gonna just go ahead and put these in.
Okay. And again, this oven is set at
375.
Okay.
And the fish will take about 10 to 12 minutes ideally. So,
okay.
We're gonna let that reduce a little bit longer while I go ahead and get these Brussels sprouts going. And I just threw the onion and garlic in here over some medium heat, and we're just gonna throw the Brussels sprouts all in too. They're all just gonna get kind of seared up in there. And towards the end, I'm gonna hit them with a little bit of balsamic vinegar after they get going.
Wow, everyone can smell the reduction from the olive oil, the onions, the garlic.
Can't go wrong.
Lime reduction.
Can't go wrong with any of that. Now I'll tell you a little bit about the Beurre Blanc sauce. It's still reducing down. You can't really see this on camera, but it is boiling really nice and hard over here. And we're trying to reduce it down a little bit, about in half.
Okay.
And then as soon as it gets reduced here, I'm going to give it another second or two, and we can just kind of talk and get these Brussels sprouts going. And then what we're going to do is we're going to remove it from heat, and then we're going to add cold butter to it slowly. And it makes this rich, creamy, delicious sauce. You really can't go wrong. It's butter, lime.
Fail-proof.
It really is pretty simple. I was a little bit intimidated by it the first time I tried to make it.
Okay.
Because it sounds fancy, but it actually is, I found it to be fairly simple to make. Okay. The key to it is getting your wine reduced down and just adding that butter slowly and whisking it in.
Now, tell us a little bit about this island. How far off the coast of Maine is this island?
It's off of, it's the closest town that everybody's really heard of is Booth Bay Harbor, which is a large tourist destination. It's a beautiful, beautiful place in Maine. Our island is, we're about a half mile offshore, but the next closest land is actually another island. It's Southport Island.
Oh,
We're about 40 minutes by boat into Booth Bay Harbor,
Okay.
and but only about 15 minutes from Southport Island.
So there's no driving off.
No. You have to transport everybody by boat. Actually, I'm having to get a captain's license. Mark already has a captain's license,
Okay.
so that we're qualified to transport the guests. And we did our CPR class yesterday, so it's a lot of preparation that we've been doing to get ready for this job, and we leave in just a few weeks. So we'll be there for the summer. The inn is only open May through September.
Okay.
But it is, the lighthouse is new. It's been a 10-year project to restore this lighthouse.
Okay.
It's a historic lighthouse. It is a working lighthouse. It is still a working lighthouse.
So the Coast Guard does
Yes.
use this lighthouse?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
It's a lighthouse and fog signal, and it is still in use by the Coast Guard.
Oh,
So,
wow.
yeah,
Wow.
it's the real deal, and we are definitely out there in the middle of nowhere. So, and
Okay.
it is just our buildings on there. So,
Oh, wow. Sounds like our wine is
I think it's doing really well.
Okay, so we're gonna get our Michael butter that I've already pre-cubed and kept here in the refrigerator until we were ready to use it.
And basically, you're gonna remove this from heat. Now, I'm gonna keep one burner on really, really low and kind of keep it, because you have to keep it hot enough to actually melt this butter. So you're gonna add the butter slowly,
Okay.
1 cube at a time, and as it melts in, you just keep stirring it in and keep adding the butter.
Do you want me to add while you
Yeah,
stir?
that works. We can tag team it.
Tell me when.
Just when you start to see when these get mostly melted, you can go ahead and add another one.
Okay.
And so you're just melting the butter into the wine at this point. It's fairly simple. And it's finding the right,
Consistency?
yeah, you have to add the butter fast enough while the wine is warm enough to melt it, but not so fast that it cools it off too fast. And yeah, so this is the part that takes a little bit of patience, but trust me, it is worth it.
It's worth the wait.
It is definitely worth the wait.
Good things are always worth the wait. I can agree with that. It's always worth the
You
wait.
can put another one or two in.
Okay.
You can already see it starting to change color. You get
Just give it a creamy, opaque looking here. So it's starting to turn out. Everything is smelling so wonderful. I think the guests at this inn are gonna love it.
I'm gonna work with 2 hands here and stir
Well, I
mine.
can stir butter do that. There we go.
They're sizzling good for us over here. Turn them down just a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead and hit them with a little bit of balsamic vinegar.
So I tell you what, I'm gonna work with
For my Brussels sprouts.
right, and then you do this,
Okay.
because I'm gonna do the Brussels sprouts.
That vinegar just
Okay, you wanna do the 1, 2,
absolutely.
Okay.
Just swap over.
I think, and I don't wanna make anybody feel like they have to, tag team this meal, it's not a tag team, but we're tag teaming it
We're
today.
tag teaming.
Yeah, we're tag teaming it today. Cause definitely you won't have that much help. You'll have Mark with you.
I have Mark, and we also have an assistant.
Okay.
Our assistant is Ruth, and she will be there to help us with meals and so forth too. So.
Now, Ruth is a captain as well.
She is. She
Okay.
is a captain as well.
Okay. This is awesome. So in order to work on this island, you have to have your captain's license.
You have to have some voting. I'm taking, like, they both have what's called a master's ticket, a 100-time master's ticket. I'm not getting that. I'm getting something called a launch license,
Okay.
which is a regional license there in New England.
Okay.
And so I'm preparing for that. But I'll be able to convert it into a different type of license when we return, something that would be more familiar here. So, how are these Brussels sprouts? Do you think I put enough balsamic on it, or?
I think this is
Looks good.
turning out really good. These Brussels sprouts, we're just giving them a nice toss in this balsamic here. People should really give balsamic vinegar and Brussels sprouts a try. If you don't like Brussels sprouts, I think it's because you haven't had them
Prepared, right?
prepared. Yeah, it's just
Figure
raw
that out.
Brussels sprouts, and I think that's typically how people have them. They just have them boiled down justice to Brussels sprouts. It brings out the nice flavor. We're just tossing them around here. How's that sauce coming?
It's coming good. I did kind of scoot it over onto the burner a little bit because the melting had slowed down.
Okay.
And I don't want it to slow down completely, but I want it on a really low heat. So you just have to kind of watch it and sort of, you know, if the butter's not melting, you know it's cooled off too much and you need to put it on some low heat. But you don't want to bring it back up to a simmer or a boil. You just want it warm enough to melt the butter.
Okay.
So
And
I'm just
the
continuing.
reason why you want to do that, to use cold butter and to keep your reduction warm, is you don't want to create an oily sauce.
Exactly.
If you let your butter melt and you start adding it to your wine, you're going to create an oily sauce. So by keeping your wine warm and your butter cold and letting the wine reduce inside of the cold butter, using the two together and the heat and the cold hitting each other together, you're not going to create an oily sauce.
Exactly. It keeps it from emulsifying. So
Exactly.
and that's what you want. If it ends up being greasy, you did it too. Yeah, you did it
Do
wrong.
it again.
Yeah, it's just a couple linings of butter, so you can always start over if it doesn't turn out the way you
Great
know,
gravy
it's
base.
supposed to. Yeah,
You can always use it for gravy.
exactly.
Yeah, so.
So we're just gonna keep adding this. And I'm gonna peek a little peek at our fish just to see how it's doing. It looks like it's coming
yummy.
along perfect. Oh, it smells. I just caught a whiff of that.
I know.
I smell that crab meat in there.
And you know what, the rest of the, another recipe tip or kitchen note I like to say, with the rest of the stuffing that we have, you can add a couple eggs to that. Those will make great crab shrimp cakes.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, there, now I know what we're having for dinner.
Yeah. That makes a great cake. Just add a couple eggs. This is yummy. So what else are we gonna have with this?
Well, I made in advance, I made a rice just so that, just to try to speed things up here a little bit for us today.
Okay.
And I love brown rice. A lot of people are a little afraid of it or have had it and it's hard and it's a little more complicated to make than a basic white rice, but it is better for you. A lot of diets will call for brown rice instead of white rice.
Right.
And so I make it, I found a recipe, an Alton Brown recipe actually from Food Network way back.
Okay.
And he tells you how to make perfect brown rice every time in your oven.
Okay.
And so I just took, it's very simple. I made a mushroom and spinach brown rice today.
Okay.
And it's delicious and it comes out perfect every single time. I saute some chopped up mushrooms and in some olive oil.
Okay.
And then I add, in the meantime, I boil 2.5 cups of water. I add a thing of Lipton onion soup mix to the water.
Okay.
And I bring that to a boil. I throw 1.5 cups of rice into my my casserole dish with a lid. And I then throw spinach, just fresh raw spinach, on top of the rice. Then I put the boiling water and the mushrooms, put a lid on it, put it in the oven at 375 for an hour. And it comes out perfect every time. And it is so simple.
Oh,
and
wow.
I
And
love
you
it.
committed that to heart.
Yes, I make it often,
All
and
the
it's,
time.
yes, I make it very often. I make a big batch of it and we can eat off of it for a couple days because it'll go with almost anything. It's great with fish, it's good with chicken. You could add more vegetables to it if you wanted
That
to.
sounds really nice. So what do you think about our
I think they look about done to me, and
okay.
I think we're good. And my sauce has come along really nicely here. We're just down to these last couple cubes of butter, and it actually is looking very creamy and good. So
I think I'm gonna just hit this with one
absolutely.
shot that it's done. Hit me with your best shot.
There you go. I love balsamic vinegar.
Yeah, you can't have too much.
It changes the flavor. It kind of, you get a little bit of a tanginess, but it brings out like a sweetness for some reason. Somehow it's the contrast perhaps. but it's
Especially
really
a good aged balsamic
Yes.
vinegar.
Yeah, it's sort of like olive oil. You know, there's different levels
Do
of
you
them
know
out there.
that most balsamic vinegars are aged at least 18 months?
I did not know that, so that's something new.
Aww.
I'm gonna switch over to my whisk now. I just don't like the noise the whisk makes early on to do it the whole time. So, but here now that we're at the end.
Okay, so our Brussels sprouts here are all ready. I turned
I have just some lemon juice because it is a lemon dill beurre blanc. And so I have some lemon juice. I'm going to finish and let this butter completely melt before I add anything else in that might cool it off though.
Okay, now, are those capers I see?
Yes, and I'm going to garnish with a little bit of capers because I love capers.
Yes,
I
get that
actually-
nice salty.
They're delicious. They add a great flavor, and they're great as a garnish as well. So they'll look pretty on the fish. If you want to grab the white plate that we're going to use to plate everything, we could actually move that in a little closer to us too.
Okay.
It's almost done. We're down to the last little bit of melting going on here.
Okay. And it's okay if you don't have fresh dill. Dry dill works just as well. I'm sure that you're gonna have your share of fresh herbs.
Yes, we're actually putting in an herb garden. That was one of my requests there at the end, was that I would have an herb garden to work
wow.
with.
What a
For
treat.
creating the meals. Yeah.
Wow, that's gonna be a nice, that's gonna be really nice.
I know, it's the whole thing is just amazing. The place is beautiful. I mean, you should definitely check out their website. It's the inn at cuckoldsisland.com.
Okay.
And Cuckolds, CUCKOLDS.
Okay.
And it is a one-of-a-kind place. It's been featured on many news things and travel channels, and many travel articles have already been written. And it's nice. Now, if you see the sauce, you can see that it's thickened up and it's nice and yellow. It's not oily. It's not greasy looking. It hasn't. Otherwise, you'll kind of know it kind of separates, and it's not. It's all looks very good and creamy. I want to take off the heat so we don't get any boiling or any simmering here. Now that I've got it.
And you have to do this with butter. You can't make this kind of sauce with any
Imitation.
margarine or imitation butter. You need the cream that you find in butter to do this. And like I said before, it's important that you use cold butter instead of melted or warm butter. That's very important to get this creamy look to the sauce.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and add some lemon juice. This is the juice of about 1 lemon. I'm only gonna put about half of it in because we don't want that to just overtake. And then I'm gonna put the dill in. A little bit, like you mentioned, some dried dill. And we're just gonna mix that in, and then our sauce is complete.
Oh wow.
So we have this beautiful, thick, creamy sauce.
So, and now we need to get our pot
Now,
holders.
we're
We
gonna-
need to get those out of there.
And we're gonna get our fish out.
Okay. Get one pot holder to work for you.
I think it'll work. There we go. Okay, and there's our fish.
Looks yummy. I did a good job.
You did. Okay, those look beautiful. Okay, so then all we're gonna do to plate these is, if we wanna get the lid off of this rice here for me. Okay. So what I would do is we would put some rice on each plate. You can see the mushrooms and the shrimp and some nice color there. And then we're going to put some of these yummy balsamic roasted Brussels sprouts.
This is looking
And a
wonderful.
little garlic in them.
I wish they had smell-o-vision. Oh,
There we go. And then we're going to add one of the pieces of fish.
sauce.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so great.
And then put one of the beautiful pieces of fish with its shrimp and crab on top. And then, yeah, I just need probably go here. I can use. And we're going to scoop up some of the sauce, and you can feel how thick it is just when you scoop it. And we're going to just spoon some of that over the top of it. I'm going to top it with a little bit of capers. And that is what a finished plate
That looks great.
would look like.
That looks great.
So, ready to eat it now?
I'm
Good.
me over. I want to wish you and Mark fun times this summer. At the end, I'm not even going to try to pronounce it. This is the Roaming Gourmet. You can check me out on my YouTube channel, Get Cooking with Z. You can also find me at www.getcookingwithz.com. Until then, let's get cooking.
Cheers.
Cheers, everybody.
Cheers to couples.
Yes, hey, there you go. I
And
love it.
Z.
Okay, thanks. I love it.